What is going on, guys? My name is Tubby. Welcome to It's Just Wrestling. It'sJustWrestling.com. Special guest today. We're going to talk about Triple H, maybe some other stuff. CM Pulse. You can find him on Twitter, twitter.com/CM Pulse. Now, Pulse, right off the bat, we were at SummerSlam. We were talking about the game. Can I get your best the game impression, bro? Can you do it?
I don't know, man. I don't do it for free.
You don't
I
do
don't
it for
do
free.
it for free.
It's not what's best for business in this case. All right, so the game, initial thoughts of the game before we get into it. What are your feelings as to the on-screen character of the COO?
Is he not like the coolest dude ever? I mean, that's literally like I think Triple H is like the most fun character right now in wrestling.
Do you think he has what it takes? Do you think that Vince will go babyface and he'll be the bad guy? He'll stay the bad guy? I love him as the bad guy, the way he is now.
I don't really know where this is gonna go. I would honestly, a lot of people are just really want to get to the end where Daniel Bryan, ends up overcoming and everything. But I honestly just want Triple H to just do this forever. I love it. I love imitating it. It's fun to play into it. I just love it.
And a lot of people would always say, WWE, Smalls especially brings this up that, WWE watches all the YouTube videos. And WWE does watch quite a bit of YouTube videos. Do you honestly believe, I want to get your honest thoughts of this, did somebody watch Smalls' videos or specific YouTube videos and they wrote that line, the best for business line? When you heard that on TV, what was your initial reaction to the best for business? Because I know we brought it up at SummerSlam quite a bit.
Right.
We were talking about
I mean, I don't think he watches YouTube videos from any of us. I love Smalls' series, but no, I don't think he went up there and was like, okay, let me just search. Can you imagine like Triple H getting on a laptop? It's like, let me go into YouTube, Triple H. I don't think he did that.
Well, I don't think he did, but I think the creative team does, because I've had in my talks, and I don't know how much I could say, but I've had some talks where somebody brought up, hey, did you know this YouTuber? Have you ever talked to him? So they watch YouTube. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought it up, but I just think it's awesome. Like he said, the whole character, the way he pulls it off, he just, I don't know, he blows my mind.
Well, I don't think it's anything new to him. The best for business. I mean, yeah, it's been relevant, a little bit before he started really doing it. But I mean, even when like Mick Foley was commissioner and stuff, Mick Foley would always bring up the best for business and the 20-minute Triple H promos and everything. I thought that was awesome when Mick Foley was commissioner. But it's awesome to really see him kind of go into that character right now. I mean, it's just Triple H is one awesome dude.
So as great as he is, does his character take away from Randy's run though? Because if you think about it, and I don't want to get into dirt sheets on this show right now, but you think of, for months people talked about Randy being the fourth member of the Shield. He's with the quote unquote new corporation now. You've got the Shield as bodyguards. Does Triple H's ego and his personality take away from Randy's run right now?
It's getting to the point. It feels like it where it could overshadow. I mean, it could even overshadow the Daniel Bryan thing. A lot of people already are saying that. I don't believe that in any way. I think you have to really build this up as like Daniel Bryan has a lot to overcome. But I don't think it's I never thought that Randy Orton was gonna have this like extravagant title run in the first place. I feel like he was just if anything, if you want to call Randy Orton anything, it's a transition champion. I mean,
oh wow,
serious.
You're throwing out the big words with the transition champion.
I mean, let's be serious. I mean, he was never set up. Randy Orton was never set up in the first place to really, carry the company for so amount of time. I mean, Daniel Bryan's pretty much set up for that.
I do like the fact that, and this is something I talked about with Dolph Ziggler, his Money in the Bank briefcase last year, was that I wanted a champion to lose to these guys before they had the title when they cashed in the briefcase, and then so they could beat them on later down the road and prove they were an actual champion. But here with Randy and especially Daniel Bryan, I don't necessarily, want, Randy to keep that title for very long. I want Daniel Bryan to have it. But what you brought up when everybody was complaining about Daniel Bryan just getting the crap beat out of him, this isn't a normal feud that just builds for one pay-per-view, and that's what I think a lot of people aren't realizing. They're like, you have 4 weeks between a pay-per-view, 1 or 2 weeks should be for one guy, and the other dude should get retribution 1 or 2 weeks. In this case, they're trying to put all the odds against Daniel Bryan. And that's the whole point of building the feud. You've got to put absolutely unsurmountable odds against Daniel Bryan. And this is going to be a spoiler for SmackDown, but this will get posted after SmackDown anyway, where Daniel Bryan finally beats the Shield tonight. He faces Seth Rollins. He beats him clean. He takes out all the Shield. But as he's leaving and celebrating, Randy beats him down and ends the show like that. So
Well, they're going to need to get to the point where they do. Well, a lot of people don't watch SmackDown. I don't watch SmackDown, but they're going to need to get to the point where they need Daniel Bryan to at least get some kind of small victory on Raw. Because how many weeks in a row, has it been that Daniel Bryan has just been completely destroyed? It's like he needs to. He will eventually get that big, hoorah at the end, but there needs to be some sort of light, for people to hold on to in this storyline. So he really does need to get that little bit of pop there by overcoming the odds on Raw.
Do you consider beating Seth Rollins part of that? Because he beat
I
Seth
don't-
Rollins, then ended in DQ, and I think the WWE is doing something smart here, where this is like the fourth time that Dean Ambrose and Daniel Bryan were supposed to face off, and they've pushed it off. Because if you remember when Daniel Bryan faced Randy Orton, he got that stinger. The next night, he was supposed to face Dean Ambrose, and that match got pushed. And every time they face off in a gauntlet, he never gets to Dean versus Daniel. I wonder if the WWE is saving that match because they realize how big of an internet darling match that is.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. Like, I want to say that WWE would do an internet darling match, or that WWE watches or reads all this stuff and stuff, but I really don't think it extends that far out. I mean, obviously they have some sort of people watching the indies and stuff, because William Regal was at PWG the other weekend. But I don't think they're gonna set up like Daniel Bryan versus like, I don't think they go out of their way to set up some sort of indie.
I got you. I think exactly right, though, your point that Daniel Bryan's going to have to get a victory. And unfortunately, if you give him a victory on SmackDown, it doesn't really mean much because people aren't watching SmackDown.
Right. And they'll replay it on Raw, but it doesn't have the same feeling as if Daniel Bryan were to overcome, at the last hour, the overrun of Raw. Daniel Bryan overcoming just a little bit. A little bit. Now,
will Triple H's character, his ego, everything, will he inject himself into this match in any aspect at all? Do you think he'll inject
what
himself?
Match?
Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. Do you think he's done as far as, everybody's, keeps comparing it to the corporation. That is, they're going to keep trying to screw Daniel Bryan. Does Triple H come in and make himself, again, a special guest referee for no apparent reason? Does he get involved in these matches? Does he come out with Randy? Or, like, how did the WWE go from here? Like, if Randy is the face of the company, but really Triple H is the face of the company, the way they're building the storyline, it seems like.
Right.
I mean, would you agree with that?
Well, I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. My whole thing was like, for this storyline to accumulate and kind of go into WrestleMania. That was my idea, and have Daniel Bryan finally get that WrestleMania moment, where he wins the WWE Championship for real, and they give him a run there, because Cena's going to probably return at the Rumble. I haven't even thought about that. Triple H going, placing himself into the match. I don't think he'll do it this time around. As it would just be, way too obvious. He'd have to inject someone else at that point to counteract Triple H, because we've already seen it once,
Yeah, I don't know. I think, that whether or not the Shield gets involved, I'm still kind of taken, back by just because of the way Triple H, goes out there, where the night after SummerSlam was supposed to be this coronation ceremony for Randy Orton, and this is why, you brought up why you like him, and it's supposed to be celebrating Randy Orton, and he just talks for 20 minutes.
Right, yeah.
It's like he puts himself in that position. What's the next step for Triple H? What can he do next just to make you love him even more? What's next for Triple H?
Literally, I don't know if I can love him any more than I do right now, but he can definitely prolong it a little more and just keep saying best for business every week. He'll get a good pop out of me. That's in regards to steps. I mean, I think Triple H, this should probably be one of the last things that Triple H does. As much as we play into the whole Triple H thing, him kind of coming in at random moments. You remember Summer of Punk, and when Triple H inserted himself into that, it was just kind of killed that completely. So while I do think this is awesome, and I like this, Triple H, he's not really, doing matches or really setting himself into feuds with, anyone like the way he did CM Punk. But I definitely think that this should probably be the last time Triple H does something. So if they're going to do something, they should probably end it with a big pop. This is HHH's last hoorah here. So
really,
yeah. Do you really want to see Triple H wrestle more? Like, do you really want to see him do another match? I mean, I love Triple H right now in the position he's in, but I definitely do not want to see him continue wrestling. I mean, I'm so over Triple H wrestling at this point. I just like him saying best for business every week. That's what I really like Triple H about.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with the wrestling. I just meant more of is he going to be staying around on screen all the way until WrestleMania? Because you had said,
I would
Daniel
hope
Bryan
so. Yeah, I would definitely hope that he would. Because like I said, I love it. So as long as he stays around, if he was an on-screen kind of guy forever, as long as he's not wrestling, then that's cool with me. If in this feud though, he has to keep interfering, but there's so many people on Triple H's and Randy Orton's side, like Daniel Bryan has like what crying Big Show and like
who knocked him
I
out,
think
and yeah.
yeah, Daniel Bryan definitely needs some more people at this point. You can't just keep having Triple H, interfere in all the matches or become the special guest referee because that would just be ridiculous.
All right,
So,
but now on the opposite side of that, like you said, Daniel Bryan really doesn't have too many people on his side right now. SmackDown, you'll start to see the dissension between them. Is this the first time in WWE in recent memory that you can remember that we almost have the next 3 pay-per-views set up? I mean, if you think about it, with Survivor Series coming up, Hell in a Cell, Battleground, we pretty much have it set up where at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, because of what happened at SummerSlam, we're probably going to get, maybe a team, Daniel Bryan versus Team Randy Orton, something along that line. And I'm kind of excited for it. I remember Christian Randy Orton in 2011, the feuds they put on. I'm wholeheartedly ready for this. I think they're going to go on and put out a good show. And I'm pumped for it. I just think with Triple H's character, with the Shield in there, I did want to ask you this, and I took too long. Does the Shield need to stay at the side of Triple H and Randy Orton, or who else can they bring in? It's kind of just jumping midship here.
Before we get to that, I just want to say about Survivor Series. I think it's awesome if we did get that because we usually do not get Survivor Series matches that matter at all.
Yeah, they're usually crap matches.
Right. So it's great that if they decide, because Survivor Series is one of the big pay-per-views for WWE. I'd have to say it's pretty much, more or less been replaced by Money in the Bank. But it's nice if they did do something that actually mattered. What happened in Survivor Series 5v5. But anyways, what were you going to say before that? Sorry.
So now with the WWE, with Randy going heel, he's with the corporation, he's with Triple H, and you brought up the fact that Daniel Bryan really has nobody on his side, and Triple H has a bunch of people on his side. Does the Shield stay there? Does the Shield disintegrate? How does the Shield play into Triple H's pocket? Because they just unexplainably came out one night and was his security.
Right.
So
I don't know. Like, I don't think that they should have I think that PTP should take the tag team championships from the Shield as soon as possible, because as much as I love the Shield and as much as I love Rollins and Reigns as the tag team duo there, it's kind of making the division stagnant, and that's that's not good. That's not good for business. So I'm hoping like PTP ends up taking the titles from them, but I don't see them disintegrating soon. But yeah, I don't think they should stick with Trips. I think they'll eventually go like, we do our own thing, man. We're not working for you anymore. We do our own thing.
So Triple H will probably do something that causes the Shield to turn on him. Maybe a Shield face turn, because they have the Wyatt families coming up too. Because the Wyatt family actually beat down Darren Young and Titus O'Neil on SmackDown this week. And Bray gave Darren Young the sister Abigail.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, so it's like. The tag team division, exactly like you said, and we're jumping all around, and this is my fault, but with primetime players losing, and the whole build was Big Show and Mark Henry to take the tag titles or, feud for him. With Mark getting hurt, now he's been cleared to compete. I think WWE is kind of in a state of turmoil, and it's all going to come down to Triple H. And unfortunately, the ratings dropped this week.
Oh, did they? Did they drop bad?
Yeah, 3.9 million people.
What was it before?
4.3, I think.
Wow, that's actually a big drop.
Yeah,
wow.
It went from right about there. The second hour had the most, and it was like 4.1 million.
Then they definitely, like I said, you need to give Daniel Bryan some hope at this point. I think a lot of people are just like, it seems like at every turn Randy Orton's just beating the crap out of Daniel Bryan. I think people kind of want to see him get that light, which, like I was saying, and I mean, I think it'd be cool if what if you're talking about the Shield dissension, if like the Shield ended up just like like I said, because they did the same thing before, like where it's like we're just in it for ourselves, whatever, we're gonna just turn on the corporation, finger quotes midair, So I think it'd be cool if like they don't exactly team with Daniel Bryan, but somewhere down the line they just decide, okay, we're turning.
Oh man, just imagine that at Survivor Series.
That'd be crazy.
The team is Daniel Bryan, or people are probably going off of their indie names, but if you put them on there, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, even throw in like CM Punk, against
That'd be
Team
crazy.
WWE. Everybody that WWE hates or isn't a typical WWE superstar at Survivor Series, but I think that would be the greatest Survivor Series match of all
It could
time.
be.
You put
It
the
could.
in-ring technicians, because Triple H brought up the fact, I think it was SmackDown, I'm pretty sure. He's like, Daniel's a great little in-ring technician.
Calls him a cruiserweight. Well, I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah, he called him a
didn't
cruiserweight, and he could give him that title. And on SmackDown, he said, he's a great little in-ring technician, but that's about it. I don't know. I'm excited for it, and I think that's what WWE's doing right. So do you think they're doing something right now? Is this going to be good numbers for WWE? Is it what's best for business is the question.
I mean, I'm a as much as people hate on it, but I'm a big TNA guy. But WWE has been, I can't even explain how awesome it's been. If you guys aren't enjoying it, I really don't know why. I mean, like it's been so great, honestly, just everything together. And Rhodes is getting the push, Damien's getting somewhat of a push, and it's just like everything's just kind of coming together. I'm really enjoying WWE right now.
Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family is just, oh man, they're doing so many things right, and that's why you hear people complain about
the
it.
The undercard is getting a lot more love, and that's what it is. I mean, like PTP's doing something. There's a little bit of everybody, and that's along with Daniel Bryan. Everyone loves the big Daniel Bryan push, and there's just a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's just fun. I enjoy watching it, even if it's 3 hours. I still wish it was 2, but it's still fun to watch. WWE is doing some good things.
And I hate to say it, I think part of what's making WWE a little better right now is Total Divas. Because look what we got from that show. We've got AJ Lee dropping pipe bombs. We have the Divas division getting a build now. And like you said, if you're not enjoying it, what are you waiting for? Like, are you all expecting the Attitude Era to come back? I don't know.
It's great right now.
All I'm seeing right now is complaints of the corporation, and it's just a rehash of the same old shit. And
Well, and I understand that. I mean, I guess if you want to be like that, then yeah, I can definitely see that. But I mean, if you just kind of, just it's fun. Freaking Triple H is saying all the stuff that we've been saying about him, and Daniel Bryan's like the top guy, and it's just fun. I'm enjoying WWE right now.
I'm enjoying WWE too. All right, any last thoughts? WWE, Triple H, anything that you're really loving right at the second that you hope continues? Any last thoughts?
That Triple H starts using Best for Business at least 2 times more every single Monday, because I just need to know if he's going to continue, because I love it, man. I love it.
What else is best for business? Is following CMPuls on Twitter. Twitter.com/CMPuls. There's a 3 in there, right?
Oh, yeah, 3.
There's a 3 in there. All right, it's just wrestling.com. You can check it out and follow on wrestling on Twitter. It's just wrestling, no G. Unfortunately, Twitter does not go long enough. Thank you again to CM Pulse for stopping by. You can check them out on YouTube as well. And I appreciate it, Pulse.
Yeah, no problem, dude. It was fun.
You have a great day, man.
You too.